Hello there, I hope you're doing well. This is going to be a video showing the symbolism Hollywood gives us in TV shows, movies, etc. How I got this idea was shows that I watch, movies that I watch. I always see things in the sets like pictures or symbols or statues, words, posters, hand signs, and since I always see it in every show I watch, I decided to pick a show and take a screenshot whenever I saw something interesting. And I focused on the hand signs in this video, and of the show I picked, Seinfeld. So this is going to be an analysis of the symbolism in the show Seinfeld. I'll be examining some logos, episodes, characters, and hidden in plain sight things the average person might miss. Something you should know if you don't already is, in Hollywood, things aren't left up to chance. Nothing is a coincidence and everything has its place. A little information about the show if you haven't seen it. The total airtime, July 5th, 1989 to May 4th, 1998. Number of seasons, 9. Number of episodes aired, 180. Average episode length, 22 minutes. Number of main characters, 4. Setting of the show, New York City, New York. Plot of the show, taken from Internet Movie Database. Jerry Seinfeld stars in the television comedy series as himself, a comedian. The premise of this sitcom is Jerry and his friends going through everyday life discussing various quirky situations that we can all relate to, especially if we live in New York. The eccentric personalities of the offbeat characters who make up Jerry's social circle contribute to the fun. Genre of the show is comedy. Producers are Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld. The main characters: Jerry Seinfeld as himself, Jerome Seinfeld aka Jerry, first name 6 letters. Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Elaine Bennis, first name 6 letters. Jason Alexander as George Costanza, first name 6 letters. Michael Richards as Cosmo Kramer aka Kramer, nickname 6 letters. Search engine results for average name lengths of first names in the US is said to be 3 to 10 letters long. So for each character to have 6 letters as their name, I'd have to say that'd be deliberate. Jerry Seinfeld, born Jerome Allen Seinfeld. Since Jerry plays himself in the show, his first name is 6 letters. Jerome. Next we'll go to a character bio. Again, if you haven't seen the show, if you have, well, you get to listen anyways. Jerry Seinfeld is a character and real person. The character appeared on the show Seinfeld and is a fictionalized version of the real Jerry Seinfeld. The character lives in New York City and works as a rather successful stand-up comedian, often on the road. His close friends are Cosmo Kramer, who is also his next-door neighbor, Elaine Bennis, whom he used to date but became good friends with, and George Costanza, a down-and-out neurotic loser, yet lovable best friend since high school. Jerry enjoys dating, which he does a lot of, going to the cafe, seeing his parents as infrequently as possible. He has an arch-enemy called Newman, a portly male worker who wouldn't eat steamed broccoli even if it was deep-fried in chocolate sauce. Every time they see one another, they engage in a cat-like ritual. "Hello, Newman." "Hello, Jerry," and stare intently before going on with their business. Her full name is Elaine Marie Bennis. She is Jerry Seinfeld's old girlfriend and now just good friend. She's a member of the friend quartet of Jerry's, alongside George and Kramer. She works in publishing. She's somewhat of an opportunist. High moral standards don't apply to her, except non-smoking, liberal abortion laws, and a few other things. She once had problems in her building when behaving careless and irresponsible and was kicked out. But she is honest in trying to sort things out, and she has an engaging way of sweeping through her life. Her relationship with men is on and off. Elaine is dating so furiously that sometimes she feels she's running out of guys. She's not popular at work, especially not in the executive position. She is both promoted to deranged incompetent and tried embezzlement by private shopping on a company account. Her self-knowledge doesn't entail dancing skills. She's quick to see flaws in others. He's a bad seed. But can also feel pity for the freaks and the squirrels. Cosmo Kramer, more commonly known as just Kramer, has no food, no job, but always seems to get by. His source of food is from his neighbor Jerry, and he never carries his own money with him. He is notorious for harebrained schemes and ideas. When he dies, he wants man's best friend on his gravestone, but he is already man's best friend. He agrees that the Chautauqua movement is the best movement around. No, I have no idea what that is. Kramer holds a number of bizarre beliefs, such as the belief you should eat before surgery, and it is not wise to brush your teeth before going to the dentist. And finally, George Costanza is a misanthropic. He thinks God will punish him for anything good happens to him. He is Jerry Seinfeld's best friend in the core group with Elaine and Kramer. He is the cheapest out of all his friends, but when people confront him about it, even in the nicest way, he always denies or protests that it is a good thing to be. He has to analyze all his fears and problems, and Jerry humors him. His shortcomings make him lovable and, in a sense, deeply honest. He confesses that his whole life is a sham, but absurdly not in public. This is the master of lying. George's relationships with women are usually short-term, even though he has tried the engagement route with disastrous results. In his several occupations, he finds himself in all sorts of conflicts and unusual situations, sometimes not self-inflicted. When he gets fired, and he does, it is because of some absurd detail or behavior. Often he goes overboard in trying to catch what he wants, but he is also strong and bounces back. George is neurotic. He needs help. He needs a therapist at one point, but he doesn't trust his inner man's voice telling him, "My little man's an idiot." Alright, now to the project, to the meat and potatoes, to what you've come for. Recognizing and understanding the hand signs. This I'm sure you recognize as well as the rest of them, but labeled as the OK sign, or everything's good. You see a lot of politicians doing this in their speeches, but it is the 666 hand sign. 1, 2, 3. 666 hand signs symbolizing the unholy trinity, the sun deity Lucifer, the goddess, mystery, Babylon the Great, mother of harlots, and the beast, Antichrist 666. These are screenshots from the show to give example of each hand sign. George receiving his order of soup, giving the 666 hand sign. I'm sure you recognize this as the rock horns, the metal horns, the good times had by all kind of stuff, but that is not true. This is the Baphomet goat devil horns, also known as the devil's hand sign. Giving praise to Satan and showing allegiance to evil forces, Anton LaVey, ex-leader of the Church of Satan, says that with the index and pinky extended, it is a curse sign. I put a curse on you. And with the pinky, index, and thumb, it means a pox on you, a term from the Middle Ages. The horn hand sign has many meanings in today's society, but its real meaning is evil. A scary guy conversing with an elderly woman showing the devil horns. Next, I'm sure you've seen this a lot with news anchors or people of wealth speaking on TV. They'll always rest their hands together in front of their chest in that diamond or pyramid shape. The pyramid or triangle hand sign, symbolizing the pyramid, the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, adopted by many in today's society. One in particular, Jay-Z, adopted the symbol for his record label, Rockefeller Records. It is also a symbol for power. A bra salesman that George wants to work for, showing the triangle. Next, we have the number 33. Number 33 has the biggest significance in the occult world. It stands for the 33rd level of Freemasonry in the Scottish Rite. Freemasons level 1 to 32 don't know the secrets that the 33rd level Masons know about. Once a Mason gets to the 33rd degree, they are brought into the satanic rituals, parties, wealth, and power. 33rd is the highest level of Freemasonry and is behind a lot of the decisions made in our reality. Basically, they have a lot of influence because Satan runs this country, it seems like, and world. Elaine's boyfriend, David Putty's hockey jersey, number 30 of the New Jersey Devils. cleverly shot from the side. You only see the 3 from the 30 on both shoulders, giving a 33. Very clever. Next we have the inverted pentagram. The inverted pentagram has associations with the occult practice and black magic. Inverted pentagram is used by Satanists in rituals, drawing one on the floor with blood usually, or other means, placing a red or black candle on each of the points, and then they do what they do. The upright pentagram is said to give protection in the Wiccan and occult world, but the upside down pentagram is an evil sign. New York Yankees ball field is usually right behind Jerry's head. It looks like a camouflaged pentagram to me. What do you think? I think so. Like I said, nothing's left up to chance. That was chosen for a reason. Now, like I said before, I took screenshots whenever I saw this kind of stuff. So here we go with the Baphomet hand sign. The Wikipedia entry says, Baphomet is a term originally used to describe an idol or other deity that the Knights Templar were accused of worshipping, and that subsequently was incorporated into the desperate occult and mystical traditions. It appeared as a term for pagan idol in transcripts of the Inquisition of the Knights Templar in the early 14th century. The name came into popular English usage in the 19th century with debate and speculation on the reasons for the suppression of the Templars. The Baphomet is a human torso, female breasts, penis and testicles, the head and legs of a goat complete with the hooves and wings. The position of the hands, one pointing up and one pointing down, is symbolizing the above, as above so below, good and evil, black and white. Baphomet is one of the 3 in the unholy trinity with the goddess and the Antichrist. This is a statue that was erected in the last 3 years, maybe 4 years. I'm pretty sure it was in Chicago, but don't quote me on that. Along with the 666 hand sign, these hand signs take a conscious effort to make. Everything has its place on TV shows and movies. From the clothes the actors wear to the lines they say, nothing is left to chance. The hand signs they flash are strategically made and designed to be seen by your subconscious. Like I said, down here, these screenshots were taken from every episode, from every season. I don't think I've captured every single one, but I'm sure I got most of them. I'll zoom in on these so you can see them a little clearer. Elaine, Kramer, George, and others. Here's the 3 of them. There's Elaine doing it. Next, excuse me. There was so many screenshots on this one, I had no room for the text, and there was still more that I could have used. 666 hand sign. Out of the hand signs flashed in Seinfeld, the 666 hand sign is easily the most used among all the characters. Hollywood is putting evil into these shows, and we unknowingly watch, and our souls absorb the evil with negative effects. I'll zoom in so you can see these a little closer. Elaine, Kramer. Only got 2 of him. I may have missed a few, but he's the one who has done it the least out of all of them. Jerry, don't know where your name went. And others. There's a couple others. George, I thought this one was interesting. Right on his face. I think George makes it the most out of all the characters. A little Freemason checkerboard there. So, that is a lot. Next, we're going to do some episode analysis, Season 8, Episode 3. Plot summary. Elaine meets her new boyfriend's friends and realizes the group of them is exactly the opposite of Jerry and his friends. Jerry goes out with one of Elaine's friends who is extremely beautiful but has off-putting man hands. However, George used a picture to get into the Forbidden City where lots of beautiful women hang out. Kramer gets a new job where he used a toilet in an office building. This, I apologize. Here's the opening shot. First thing they show you is a Freemasonic checkerboard. Obviously good and evil, with the show being the opposite of Jerry, the good and evil. The whole episode is a poke. Here's the Freemasonic checkerboard floor, obelisks, altar, other symbols in the room where they perform their ceremonies. The arch on top symbolizes the firmament dome over our flat earth, the firmament mentioned in Genesis 1. The Masons know all the secrets and keep it all hidden from us. But the checkerboard floor is symbolizing the good and evil, as above, so below. In this scene, the good and evil are presented to Elaine. The good, the evil, the person in the middle making the choice. In this episode, Elaine and Jerry are talking about Elaine's ex-boyfriend turned friend, Kevin. Elaine says that Kevin is the exact opposite of Jerry, reliable, considerate, all-around nice guy. Elaine then says Kevin is Bizarro Jerry, the other Jerry that lives in Bizarro world where everything is backwards. Up is down, down is up, black is white, white is black. Between Jerry and Kevin, Jerry is the evil one. Face Painter, another episode, Season 6, Episode 22. This one was pretty good. Plot summary. Jerry scores premium tickets to a New Jersey Devils playoff game. He invites Kramer, Putty, and Elaine along, but Jerry gets weirded out when Putty shows up at the game and paints his face to match the team's colors. Putty gets so worked up after a game that he freaks out on a visiting pastor from El Salvador, who is convinced that Putty is the real devil. Elaine tries to convince him otherwise. Kramer enjoyed the game so much that he tries to convince Jerry to get more tickets from the guy Jerry got them from. Meanwhile, George decides to tell his girlfriend that he loves her, only to have his plans backfire on him, while Kramer battles a chimpanzee at the zoo. Excuse me. So, in this scene, this was the one I showed you a couple pages ago, David Putty talking to a priest in the street at 8 minutes 13 seconds, and he says, I quote, "Don't mess with the devil, buddy. We're number one, buddy. We beat anyone. We're the devils." That sentence is incorrect. There is a clash of singular and plural noun usage. The S at the end of the devils is not said, making the sentence singular. The sentence was supposed to be plural, talking about the whole Devils team, not the devil. The end scene here, each guy calls out his letter, D-E-V-I-L, but the S is not said. The end of the episode 2150 at the hockey game, the guys have a letter painted on each of their chests spelling out Devils. When they stand up to call their respective letters, the S at the end is not said. Right after the guy who yells out the L, the audience cheers, the credits and the music start, while inaudible cheering drowns out the S if it's even said at all. So, twice in this episode they say devil, intentionally. There's no chance that that was a mistake. When we sit in front of the TV or sit our kids in front of it, they're programming us with evil images and ideas, words and symbols in our subconscious, programming us to be something we're not, something we weren't born to be, giving us lies as truth, directing us to think and act a certain way to further their agenda. Mind control is real. It's called television programming, and it's programming you to be another sheep to join the herd for a later slaughter. Television makes you stupid. Next, I'm going to take a look at some of the logos, 2 to be exact. Here are the logos used in the show. Freemasonic checkerboard from Bizarro Jerry episode, and I forgot which episode this was from, but there's Saturn. The allegorical teachings of the black and white chessboard floor in Masonic lodges say it's back to the free will choice that we all make, and whether we serve the principle of selfishness or selflessness, separation or unity, darkness or light, in this polarized material world. The black and white Masonic flooring is a long-standing mystical symbol. The square shaped often represents the physical world as opposed to the circle representing spiritual. In all but one, I guess, of the logos, they have an upside-down triangle over the letter I, which to me, I associate that with an upside-down pentagram. Of all the types of dots put over the letter I, the one chosen for Seinfeld is an upside-down triangle because the triangle, being an occult symbol, it is the bottom point of a pentagram. The triangle is a symbol of power. It signifies the pyramid structure of the powerful elite at the top and the civilian population on the bottom. Saturn is a symbol for Satan. In Hebrew, the word Saturn translates to Satan. The elites worship Saturn, and it is evident in various company logos in our face every day. The black cube is a reference to the cube on Saturn's north pole and is heavily worshipped by the elites and the rest of the unknowing populace in various logos and religions. Here are some examples of companies that depict Saturn in their logos. When a logo depicts Saturn, it's kind of like a 2-for-1, since the black cube is also inferred. Symbols are all around us every day. Get to know what they really mean. Stop supporting them. The companies are all owned by the same elites, Satanists. So we got Internet Explorer, Boeing, Saturn, Sega Saturn, Nissan, Saturn Vehicle, DirecTV, Toyota, Target. This is a top view of Saturn. Earthlink, Nickelodeon. There was more, but I just gave you a few examples. Here's a photo of a Freemasonic lodge, complete with the 2 pillars, checkerboard floor, offering table, etc. And we'll go to the last page here of some things I wanted to mention that aren't necessarily dealing with Seinfeld. Closing statements. Satanism is growing in popularity and becoming more accepted. It's even being taught in our schools. If you've heard the After School Satan Club, look that up on YouTube. George Washington, Freemason and first president. This is a monument to George Washington in Halton, Maine. Accomplishments are listed with most important and most proud of on top. Our first president of the United States was a Freemason and a slave owner. The Masons have a building in nearly every city, and the group is behind most of the decisions made in today's world. Only the 33rd degree Masons know the real truth about the group and the world. Baphomet, Knights Templar god. Here's another picture of him, a figure with penis, testicles, female breasts, beard, wings, horns, hooves. Seems like a figment of our imagination, right? Baphomet is the god the Knights Templars worship. Conchita Wurst. I found this picture to be pretty interesting. This is a modern-day Baphomet, a man with a penis and testicles, breasts, beard, long hair, and feminine behaviors, standing in front of antlers. Direct connection to the Baphomet. Up on top, there's a couple postcards from the Masons. Are you a Mason? The initiation. There's the Baphomet. Are you a Mason? The Grand Lodge in session. Baphomet, the goat. It's no joke. And then we'll get some Mason handshakes here. The grip of an intended apprentice. Thumb over the knuckle. Pass grip of a fellow craft. Thumb over the top or behind the knuckle, I guess. Real grip of a fellow craft. Thumb on the middle finger. Pass grip of a master mason. Thumb over the first 2 fingers and onto the ring finger. Real grip of a master mason. Looks like the Star Trek symbol, Spock's symbol. Looks like they just split that and then shake normally. And finally, I found this in the last couple weeks to be quite interesting. I've always known that the cube is a folded up cross, but I didn't really look too much into it. The cross is actually not holy or of Christ. The cross is actually satanic, of Saturn. This is also why Jesus Christ, 888, was killed upon the cross, symbolizing of Satan winning over Christ and God, utter blasphemous and hypocrisy by the Church of Rome, and its false claim of being Christian while it's in fact the dragon itself. Also the same phony organization, pagan Protestant churches displaying these satanic pagan symbols of the Palmyrium schools of Babylon. Pretty interesting stuff. So, if you have an interest in looking in shows for symbolism, they are there. All the shows that I used to like watching have it in there. Cartoons, adult shows, doesn't matter. They're putting satanic imagery in our heads, and I know I didn't ask for it. If this helped you in any way, I urge you to like, subscribe, or comment. Any questions, comments, let me know. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.